Hello, Neuse Little Podcast listeners. Allow me a moment to promote our new official Neuse Little Theater merchandise. This can be bought at any show we have, any show in the 50th season that you come see. You can go up to the merch table and ask the man or lady, and you can get your official NLT merch. Here's what we have. We have hats, toboggans, hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, and we even have big and tall sizes. Just ask the person and they'll set you right up. We also have blankets, pins, keychains, stickers, tumblers, frosted pint glass, coffee mug, aluminum water bottle, backpack, and tote bags, etc. We have it all. Be sure to check out our special anniversary merchandise, including our t-shirt featuring all the shows of our historic 50th season. Thank you, and thanks for listening. Hello, and welcome to Neuse Little Podcast. This is an audio presentation featuring the backstage antics and stories from your favorite log cabin located on the banks of the Neuse River in Smithfield, North Carolina. Please help us celebrate our 50th anniversary season by purchasing tickets on our website, neuselittletheater.org. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the various podcast platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Now please, enjoy the show. Welcome to Neuse Little Podcast. We have another episode for you. This is our kind of holiday special episode, although it might not be. We will talk about Christmas, I suppose, if we must. But really what we're here to do is introduce, some of you may know her. She recently came on the board here at NLT, and we're very excited to have her here. But she's been buzzing around the hut for a little while here. And I want to introduce this lady in just a minute. But first, I'm going to tell you, we have a cast for The Foreigner. If you are wondering about our cast list for The Foreigner, please go to our website and check it out, or our Facebook page and see the cast list. And The Foreigner will commence production in the new year in 2025, and it will go up the weekend of Valentine's Day weekend plus the following weekend. Of course, we'll have more info on that as it comes around. We'll do our show about it and all that good stuff, but now it is the holiday season. It is upon us. There's nothing we can do about it. And we just have to sit here and wait while it happens to us until it's over. No, I'm just kidding. I know I pretend to sound like a Grinch, but I really have no reason not to be thankful this year. It's been a good year full of blessings. I'll say blessings because my mom had a health scare in September, and it was September was a hard month, and she is well, and she is almost 100% back to where she was after a real scare. But I'm just glad to have her with us, and I really can't be a Grinch this Christmas because of that reason, and many other reasons, because we are more fortunate than others, and we should remember that. And I just don't want to act like a Grinch this year, and I know it's kind of a shtick that I do, but I am thankful for things this year. But enough of that. I'm here with Mita. How are you, Mita?
I'm good.
Are you feeling Christmassy?
Sure. About as much as I usually am.
Are you using your skeletons in any of your Christmas decorations?
Yes. My big giant mummy, the 12-foot one, is helping put up my lights. However, the little skeleton family that changes clothes are still in their pilgrim outfits because they've been very lazy and they have not changed. But supposedly they will be in their Santa outfits pretty soon.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and introduce this lady that is sitting to my right here. How are you, ma'am? Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Brenda Hartley.
Brenda, thank you for joining us on the podcast here. It's going to be kind of a hybrid podcast, I suppose, where we talk about Christmas things, maybe some movies. But first, we're going to talk about how you came to the hut. How did you get here, Brenda? How did you... Because you don't appear on stage, no. And I think that's probably a personal choice of yours. Mm-hmm. Okay. How did you come to be our resident kind of cleaning? No, I won't say cleaning lady. That sounds demeaning. But if there's something out of place, you're going to correct it.
Yes.
So how did this happen?
Back in about 2017, I had a friend who volunteered here, and she asked me, "Hey, will you come and help me one night? Work the door?" Sure, why not? Came, and I became a Seps.
What was the show? Do you remember?
No.
Okay. All right. So you work the door.
Such a lasting impression.
What was it,
Sorry.
pre-COVID?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to go through all the shows and figure out which one it is.
Yeah, because
but-
I have no clue.
Okay. But how did you go from just, helping as an usher to, hey, what if I rearrange this entire room?
Because I have OCD and I'm crazy about things like that. So when I see stuff out of place, I'm like, I want to fix that.
Okay.
I can make it look better.
Right. Such as?
The basement here and just organizing clothes, and I like to organize things. I just want things to have their own place.
So you're kind of like a Monica Geller that way, where everything has to be just so?
Yes.
So everything is probably just so in your house. It
Yes.
can't be out of place?
No.
I can't use like the fancy towels if I have
No,
like...
you can use them. I can wash them. I'm okay with that. I put them in there for you to use. So.
It's fun. It's funny to bring her up here to the tech booth because I'm sure her eyes twitching because it is a hot mess up here.
It's not that bad.
It is too that bad. I've been after this for a while.
you just try to maintain right now. Just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
well,
Deep breaths.
It's like
deep
all the
breaths.
nerves are tingling right now. Like, yeah.
Well, we had right after COVID, Stephen and I came in during COVID because it was just the two of us, and we helped, or we went and organized under the stairs, and we organized the paint room, and we organized stuff. Once it loosened up a little bit, we had, we decided we needed to tackle the costumes. We kept talking about the costume area needs to be worked on because it was just, we had crammed so many things in that room on the racks that you can't pull anything out without everything coming out. And then once you got it out, you couldn't put it back. So we knew we needed to go through it. And so I said, hey, we're doing a work day. It's going to be probably several work days, who wants to come? And Brenda's like, I'll come. And after it was 5 Saturdays, we worked on the basement, gave away about 2/3 of what was in the basement, threw it away, gave it away, donated it, whatever. And then after it was all over with, she was down there scrubbing the floor,
Yeah.
vacuuming, sweeping.
Vacuuming.
And then
Those
she came
raggedy
up, she
carpets.
says, well, it looks good and it better stay that way. I said, I give it 2 shows. She goes, oh no, it better not. I said, well, then you have to come to strike and make sure everything goes back where it belongs. She says, oh, I'll be here. And if she can be here, she's at strike yelling at people, telling them to put stuff back where it belongs.
Yeah.
well, I see that Mita saw your OCD and said, I can exploit that. No,
Yes.
I can use that.
Yes. And she does. A lot.
I enjoy organization. My problem is I don't have the ability to really focus well enough to organize.
No.
So I go, hey, Brenda,
Because you'd have ADHD too.
I think I do.
Well, let me ask you this. If you try to like clean your house or something, do you do just one thing at a time or do you do just like 5 things at a time?
Oh, no. You pick it up and go, okay, I'm going to go put this away. And you go to put it away and you're like, oh, I should take care of that.
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh, the litter box needs to be cleaned.
Yes.
I'm going to do that. Oh, wait, no, I can't do that yet. I have to go take the trash out. And yeah, and before I know it, I've gotten nothing done.
That is just what I have. And my my therapist calls that ADHD. Yes. Whenever I get that way. And it's weird because it's usually stuff that on a normal day I don't even think about it. But there's just maybe just one day where I have time and I'm just like, I need to do this one thing. And then before you know it, it's 12 things.
Right.
And I'm going to not do them all in order. And maybe we'll get to an ending point somehow.
And we would have a lot more in the basement if I didn't put my foot down. This one over here doesn't like to throw anything away.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm better than other people.
Us theater people are like hoarders, though.
Yes.
It's hard to throw stuff away.
It was insane because I was like, we have 5 of these dresses. We don't need them, but 1. We're good. Let's throw this away.
Well, the problem is you have 16 little black dresses and they're all varying sizes and they're all different styles. So we might need, you don't know which one you need. So yeah, we
weeded
have
it
like
out.
2.
Well, where does that come from, that weeding it out of just like throwing it away?
I don't know. I guess because growing up, my house was kind of cluttered. My mom loves knickknacks, so there was knickknacks everywhere. And I don't know. My dad was the clean person. Like, he's the one that wanted everything in order and clean and don't keep anything. So I guess that I got that. My other two sisters, they like the knickknacks and stuff, and I don't. So I don't know if it was just growing up and having a whole bunch of stuff in the house that drove me crazy, and I didn't want that. But the whole organization, like everything has to have a place. Everything has to be organized, labeled.
Well, see, I love things to be organized. I just have the inability to follow through 94% of the time. So if you look at the basement, all of the labeled stuff and everything, I did that. But that was because we sat there and, sort of meticulously went through it, and I was able to do it that way. But if you look at my house, it's like, oh my God.
See, I can't sleep if my house is not clean at night.
Really?
Mm-mm. I'll stay up in bed, and my mind is going like, oh, I didn't do those dishes, and they're just sitting on the side of the counter. Here's another really bad thing, too, that I get teased about a lot. Like, when I leave the house, I make sure, like, my bed is made, things are picked up and stuff, because I'm like, what if somebody breaks in? And they see my house. Like, I watch a lot of cop shows. I'm like, oh, the cops are walking around. They're like, look at that over there. No, I don't want that.
Where does that shame come from?
No.
Where does that? I want to know.
I know. I'm like, what if they broke into my house? The cops would come and go, well, they just wrecked this place.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it actually looks about like normal.
Actually, they helped.
My husband he thinks I'm psycho because I'm like, what if somebody breaks in and then they're gonna see, like I've been broken 4 times.
But why are you worried about if a robber's or a cop
cop
is judging you about you?
I don't know. It's just something in my brain, like when it's neat and clean.
Do you have like a secret space though where it's not fully put together, like a closet where this is where everything that doesn't go,
Yeah, I do have a back room that is semi-chaos and semi-organized. Like, it's an organized chaos.
Probably looks immaculate.
No. It's like a little storage room, but that we shove everything in there.
Okay.
Yeah, just be careful because I used to have like a space that was like that, and it has overtaken my house now. My house is like a chaos.
If I haven't used it in 3 months, I'll usually throw it out.
Oh, well, that's smart, yeah. Supposedly they say if you take everything, if you're cleaning up, if you take a big box and you put things in the box and you label it, you put a date on it, like a year from now, put it in a closet. That date, a year from now, if you pull it out, if you have not gone into that box looking for something, just take the box and throw it away. Don't open it because then you'll go, ooh, I was wondering where that was. It's like, nope, just toss it. You didn't need it. You didn't want it. You didn't need to find it. It's like,
well, here's the thing, Mita. I'm glad you brought that up because this hoodie that I'm wearing right now is the first time this year I've worn it. I actually kind of forgot about it, and I was looking in the closet. I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to wear my hoodie today. It's going to be a little chilly tonight. And I reached into the pocket, and I pulled out 2 lighters. And I'm just like, whoa. So, I don't know. Maybe there is something to that. All right. So, you're here organizing stuff. You're helping out with box office and ushering. You're a whiz with the little scanner. And you got it down pat. And at what point did you decide that you want to be more heavily involved in the theater as far as like see how the sausage is made and become on the board and stuff like that? Did Mita approach you or what? Did y'all talk about it? What?
I had made, I guess you could say, a couple suggestions. I'm not sure, but I was like, you know what? I want to be on the board because I can make some decisions.
Right. But there's a couple. You're not the only one. I'm sure you're not. There's other people out there, but I guess it comes down to what you could bring to the table, and I guess you recognize that. So, what did you make a couple of suggestions? How was it for you?
Well, it was a matter of she shows up for one thing, which is half the battle. The other thing is she has her mindset is completely different than the rest of the board because she's not an actor. She's not on stage. She's an audience member. I mean, she doesn't direct. She doesn't work backstage. She doesn't do any of that. So she brings a certain perspective, and she has a work ethic that was very beneficial. And I don't know that. I mean, I don't think I was the first person to bring her name up about bringing her on the board. It was bantied about before we went and asked, but it was just a matter of it felt like she would bring to the board an outside perspective.
Right. I hesitate. I'm sitting here listening to you. I'm like, I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to avoid using the word agenda.
Well, no,
it's not that. It's not that cut and dry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's like our board is our actors and directors, and they only see the theater from one angle. So their thought process is shows I want to be in, shows I want to direct. Whereas someone who is not part of that process with the theater, I'm not saying we don't want any of those people on the board because they were very important to have that perspective. But Brenda brings forth a different perspective of somebody who's not elbow deep in the artistic part of it.
Right, the more practical side of things.
Right.
Yeah, the day-to-day stuff.
Because we can be all fanciful and, artistic, and then she'll come, she can come in and go, what?
Yeah, which happens.
More pragmatic. Well, that's good. I think that's honestly a really good perspective, and I'm glad you're on the board, Brenda.
Thanks. I would love to be on stage. I just can't remember lines.
Oh, really? Mm-mm. Listen, I think there was a moment a while back where Mita was trying to put in my brain of putting you on stage. Yeah, I think it did happen. I think didn't you have this fleeting idea of her trying out for Liberty Valance maybe?
I don't remember.
You said something and it kind of put a seed in my head of just like it was because that Liberty Valance was a very successful show.
Yes.
But the casting process was difficult, I would say, and because I didn't quite have enough older people to fill out the older cast, and I had these kids, so I had to fudge the timeline a little bit to make it work. Ultimately, I think it was success, and it turned out how it was supposed to be. But I think there was a second there I was just like, I wonder if Brenda would audition. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And why didn't you?
There's no way. I cannot go up there and do a line.
I bet you could. I bet you could. I think if you had a right director and the right play and the right circumstances, that you could. I don't know. That's just me.
I know people always say that all the time. They're like, I can't remember all those lines. I'm like, nobody thinks they can remember the lines until they're neck deep in it and it's do or die.
I mean, I've been approached and they're always like, get on stage. I'm like, no.
Okay. I don't want to say something like, well, I think you'll be on stage because I think in your brain that'll plant a seed going like, well, I'm never being on stage. So we'll just have to see. All right, so let's shift into Christmas. Now, I don't have any particular traditional Christmas. I kind of wing it from year to year, but this year I'm by myself because Tamara is on her way as we speak to Mexico to see her extended family. And so I'll be having a kind of by choice. No one feel sorry for me. This is my own choice. I will be having my own sad bastard Christmas at the house.
I was going to have this vision of him with like a turkey hungry man dinner sitting over the sink trying to like not make a mess.
Yeah. My Spam sandwich.
I'm fine. I don't care.
No. This is my. I like. You see, I don't. 95.
I know I'm loved.
I do know I'm loved. 95% of the time, I'm spending Christmas Eve with my mother, and she's going to see the rest of our family on Christmas Day. So, as I said, I don't have much term in the way of Christmas this year, and I have cats, so I can't really put up decorations. But I will be having my own little private Christmas. What will you guys be doing for Christmas?
The 23rd, I probably will be going over to Steven's for a birthday celebration. He has a nephew that has a birthday on Festivus. Mm-hmm. And then we will spend Christmas evening with his family, and that's pretty much the extent of my Christmas. My family I grew up not celebrating Christmas.
Really? Mm-hmm. As like a religious thing?
Yep.
So you're a Seventh-day Adventist?
No, but we used to keep the... Oh, Lord, let me dig into this. The church I grew up in kept the Jewish High Holy Days. So, like, pretty much Old Testament. So, no Christmas, no Easter. We kept Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, Sukkot, Pentecost, Passover.
Mm-hmm.
Not Hanukkah?
We did not. No, Hanukkah's not in the Old Testament.
Okay.
And so we just kept the Old Testament stuff. And we didn't celebrate birthdays when I was a kid, because if we didn't know when Jesus was born, why should we celebrate your birthday? It was not until I was about 18, 19 years old they changed all of that. The church started to like realize they didn't know what the hell they were talking about.
Right.
Right.
There's so many different interpretations.
Oh.
I hesitate to use the word opinions on that type of stuff around here.
They were very close-minded when I was growing up. They went through a whole phase of early days of it before I was born. I believe like women had to wear dresses, they couldn't cut their hair, and
Couldn't
then
wear
that
makeup.
changed. No makeup. We did no makeup, then we did makeup, then we did no makeup. I remember that change. I was in high school when they decided makeup didn't really matter, and you would have thought it was clown day at the circus because everybody
wear
was like,
makeup.
and then there was this whole thing. There was a big to do. It had a lot of splits in the church because of disagreements. In the 70s, it was considered a cult because there was a leader,
A prophet.
a prophet, and when he died, people lost their minds because the end of the world was supposed to happen.
Right.
He wasn't supposed to die before it all ended.
One of my good friends, he says all the time that one of the things that really messed him up as a child is that his mother said he didn't have to go to school because the world was going to end anyway.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you have no idea. I told my mother this like years after everything had changed and I stopped going, and I looked at her. I said, "You have no idea how terrified I was," because they kept talking about how there would be no time you would be taken to a safe space. We would go someplace to be saved.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, and you didn't know the day or the time, and when it was time to go, you had to go. And I was always terrified I would get left behind. And my mother said, "We would have never let you do that. We would never do that to you." I was like, "But I didn't know that as a kid because
Right.
that's not the
Yeah.
way it was told to us." It's like, if you're not ready to go,
Kids
You're
don't.
not at the door, I'm gone.
Yeah, kids don't get the allegorical kind of stuff as
Right.
well. Yeah, there's kind of cut and dry. Tamara's still petrified of like the Left Behind stuff because when she was growing up and stuff like that, where it's just like, get ready, it's happening now. And it's
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
so what about you, Brenda? Do you have any special? Okay, let me rephrase.
now
Brenda.
that you've heard all the weird
So,
twisted
no,
stuff
no,
I
no.
grew up with.
Allow me to
I'm
rephrase.
Sabor and I'm traditional.
Let's say, do you have any Christmas trauma you want to share with us?
I don't have Christmas trauma because I didn't celebrate Christmas. So.
Okay, fine. Residual trauma.
I do the all normal. Since my mother has dementia, I stopped her Christmas a while back, and I do all the Christmas, and so the family comes to my house on Christmas Day, my side and my husband's side. So,
On the same day, at the same
on the
time?
same day, same time.
Wow.
And on
Rip that Band-Aid off.
yeah, just get it over with. I did break it up on Christmas Eve. I would do like my half of the family on Christmas Eve, and then that side of the family, because they are family that don't come around, so that side would go to my mother's on Christmas Day, and then I would just have his side at my house on Christmas Day. But after she got diagnosed with dementia, it just got too much for her, and it stresses her out, and it makes her mind not well.
Well, it would stress anybody out.
Yeah. It's because it's it stresses me out. Because that's when I go into panic mode and I do the deep cleaning in my house, where I'm like in the corners cleaning. It's crazy. It's a crazy obsession. But then I'm like, people don't even look in the corners of my house. They're like, "Oh, you see that dust bunny over there?" No, they don't do that. But in my mind, I'm like, everything has to be perfect and spotless when people come. So that's what I do a few days before, but on Christmas Day, everybody's at my house. Now, on the 22nd is my daughter's birthday, so we do take time to not do Christmas and actually do birthday, and then jump into Christmas. But now everything's hosted at one time at my house.
Well, that's nice that you separate birthday from Christmas.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of December babies get the short end.
Like, I take the dining room, I'll take the Christmas down in the dining room, and I'll put all birthday decorations up, and we'll have pizza, cake, stuff like that, and do little mini party with the family.
We never really do Christmas shows here, do we? I mean,
It's been
just,
a long time because back in the day when we were only doing 4 shows a year before we had the air conditioning, we did a Christmas show that was the nothing but kids under 18 that were in it, and Vivian Worrell directed it. And the problem came down to, and I like the way we do it now, although I wouldn't mind doing a show that's, I mean, we did Willy Wonka, we did Wizard of Oz, it's got lots of kids in it. And we do it Outsiders. That was mostly teenagers. The problem was, at the time, it was because no adults auditioned for those shows. It was shows that you would do with adults if you wanted to do it traditionally, but all the parts were under 18. They just played grown-up parts. But they were all Christmas shows and things like that. But it became, we're doing this show, and the kids show. It was always just like, because none of the adults on the board could audition because they, it was like all children. So it sort of became the redheaded stepchild of the season. So it was always... And, it got where they sort of were like, it's that show, and the kids show.
Well, I just want to pat us on the back just for a brief moment. I don't think there's very many theaters around here that have been around for a long time that don't have like a Christmas show that is their moneymaker, that's their nut. There's like Cinderella at RLT, Christmas Carol at Theater in the Park, Christmas Carol at Center Stage, and Christmas Carol... all those other places.
All the other Christmas carols.
All the Christmas
It's
carols.
A Wonderful Life. It's all there. It's going to.
I love that one.
You like It's a Wonderful Life?
Yes.
They're gonna. I heard they're gonna do. Gonna do a movie about the making of It's a Wonderful Life and how Jimmy Stewart's war experiences are kind of how he's kind of like acting through therapy through acting
Okay.
through that movie, because the director Frank Capra was also very much involved in the war. And I do like It's a Wonderful Life. I guess it's one of those movies where I like the filmmaking aspect more than I actually like the movie of it. I you know what? I take that back, because there's a great scene in It's a Wonderful Life. It's that scene where they're on the phone and he and his wife kiss. I don't even remember it, but it seems like a very realistic tender kiss and not a Hollywood kiss at all. So, what do you like about it?
It's just warm and cozy.
Right. You don't like the version where they push Jimmy Stewart off the edge of the bridge? He goes into the watery depths.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I love black and white movies anyway, but I don't know. There's just something about that movie that I just love.
Well, you're in the minority on that one. Like I said, I'm just saying it's not played every year.
I enjoy it. I like it. I watch it when it comes on. However, it was not supposed to be a Christmas movie.
Right.
It was released in the summer. But no, but back to the us doing a Christmas show. It kind of came down to, once we started doing 5 shows, we had to figure out how to schedule it. So I mean, because we got 2 before Christmas and then 3 after. And we did try and do 3 before, so we did like a summer show, but it's just so unbearably hot. Even the air conditioner in here is just not feasible. I mean, it was extraordinarily expensive trying to run the air conditioner in the summer when we're here trying to do rehearsals and stuff. And so we sort of had to shove everything back. But there's so many every theater does. There's so much at Christmas.
Yes,
you've got so many options to choose from. Plus, everybody's so busy. Do I have time to rehearse a Christmas show? Do I have time to be here every night? We'll run on the same, there's only so many weekends before Christmas that you have to do the show. And so if we do a show that's Christmas themed, like we have done the Charitable Sisterhood, that was the most recent one we did. We did it before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we also did 1940s Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
But they're always like on November 15th.
Right.
It says like after November 20th or before Thanksgiving weekend, we kind of like shut down unless we're doing an audition for the next year, which we just did with The Foreigner.
Right.
And we're moving right up. Did you have something? I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, if Walmart can put their Christmas decorations out, before Halloween, we can do a Christmas show before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I haven't been many places to shop, and so I've avoided most Christmas music, thankfully. But it does really great. At work, we used to have the Christmas music playing all the time.
Yes.
And then finally, thankfully, when they did a remodel, they don't have intercom systems anymore. So it just did away with the Christmas music, which was a blessing. It's just, I can take a certain amount of Christmas, but after a while, I'm just like, okay, good. We'll see you. We'll see you in another 5 years.
I've got that way since the older I get, I guess you can say. At first, I'm like, ooh, so exciting, all the bright lights and stuff. And then I'm good for about a couple of weeks. I'm like, yeah, I can be okay to pass
Without
this.
Christmas?
Yeah. I'm like, I can be. And I guess it's because I have, since the condition of my mom, it's like I've became the matriarch of the family.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, and so I have everybody coming to me now, and so and to hold everything together and to do the Christmas and to be all cheery and and
There must be a lot of pressure.
yeah, it is. And I have 4 kids too. So like I have to entertain them, and they're in college. Well, one's not. I mean, she's a tattoo artist, but they all come back for Christmas and they all remember how it was before and of like, oh, it was so bright and cheery. I'm like, I'm tired. Mama's tired. Mama's tired.
It's like, where's the Yule log, Mom?
Right.
Why isn't it
And
out?
I'm like, so
It's on the Netflix screen.
yeah. Cuz like I have my Christmas shopping done usually before Halloween. Like by Halloween, I'm done. Christmas shopping is done. And then,
Enjoy your mask,
Yeah.
children. Enjoy your Michael Myers mask.
Exactly. And then, and like I said, like the beginning of December, I am all for it. And now, like right now, I'm the same way. I'm like, I don't want to hear no more Christmas music. I don't want another cup of hot chocolate by the fire. I'm okay.
I do find I'm sort of it's also background noise, quite honestly. But the Hallmark Channel, man, I will watch a Christmas movie, just sort of like let it roll, because I can do thousands of other things at the same time. It's just
Yes.
white noise, honestly. And Stephen always goes, if it's on. His sister Carol watches tons of Hallmark, and Stephen will go, I think I've seen this one. Love Ensues.
Love ensues. Mom watches the Hallmark movies all the time too. They're always playing.
I do too, but I actually watch. It's called Great Family American Show. So it's another one on DirecTV, and they do.
Is that the one that
A Great American
Candace
yeah, I think she
whatever moved to?
Yeah, she's over there, and so I do some, like last night, like I flipped over there and I sat there and watched me a good little Christmas movie.
Besides It's a Wonderful Life, what do you watch every year?
I watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Right.
It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Christmas Story. Rudolph. Frosty. The Grinch.
But she's not into Christmas.
Yeah. Like I said, like the beginning of December, I am all for it. About this time,
You're ready for it to be over.
I'm almost ready for it to be over. But I mean, I have my moments where I'm still into, and I watch those every year.
I always try and find the Grinch, the original.
Yes.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's harder and harder to find because they always want to put that crazy Jim Carrey piece of.
That one they have played a lot.
And then, and I've yet to find it again, but for some reason it was on one day. But if you ever get a chance to see it, it's called The Night They Saved Christmas.
Oh.
It is so very 1980s. You will not believe how ridiculous it is.
I love
They're
it.
like-
1980s.
They're doing drilling for oil in the Arctic, and it threatens the North Pole.
Oh.
And it's I think it's Art Carney is Santa Claus. And they start to sing, and he goes, "Don't sing that song anymore." He's just the grumpiest Santa ever.
Well, there you have it, folks. 3 random people's opinion on Christmas. I know you were yearning for it, but here it is. You have it now. That is our NLT Christmas gift to all of you.
So yeah, watch It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes. An angel gets her.
Violet Night, that's what we were talking about before we started recording.
Yeah,
Violet Night.
Violet Night's good.
And the Night They Saved Christmas. Those are the 3 must-see Christmas movies.
I have my 3 sad bastard Christmas movies picked out. Probably won't watch all 3 because I can't remember the last time I watched 3 movies in one day. But I have set aside The Holdovers with Paul Giamatti, which came out last year. but it has become an instant classic. Have you seen The Holdovers?
No.
Watch The Holdovers this year. Okay,
Holdovers,
trust
okay.
me, with Paul Giamatti.
All right.
You're going to look at it on your whatever streaming service is offering it. You might have to rent it, but you say, this sounds boring, but it's not. It's about a school professor and at the beginning, it's like 3 or 4 children that have to spend time at a private school over the holidays because for whatever reason their parents are out of town or something. So this one sad professor, played by Paul Giamatti, is looking after these 4 kids. But then one of them's dad comes out of nowhere with a helicopter and you're like, hey kids, come on. Everybody can come on a ski trip with us. And they get their kid that they were going to leave behind, but they changed their mind. And they're like, well, all the other kids are here. Come on. And Paul Giamatti cannot get in hold of one particular kid's parents, no matter what. And so not only does that mean that he has to watch the kid can't go on the ski trip, and he has to watch the kid, and he's a closet alcoholic.
Oh,
he's a
nice.
functioning alcoholic.
Nice.
But he wanted time to be alone and drink. And now he has to watch his kid. And there's one other person there who's she's a cafeteria worker, and she lost her son in Vietnam. So this is her first Christmas without her son. So these 3 misfits kind of get together and have the best Christmas they can with dealing with all their problems. The kid runs into the gym and bounces off a mat and dislocates his shoulder. So that's there's this scene where they're in a fancy restaurant and they're having Cherry's Jubilee. And they won't let the kid have it because it has brandy in it. And Paul Giamatti's so outraged. He goes like, you're burning the brandy. You're burning all the alcohol off. There's no way. But they won't give it to him. And so they say, screw you. And they have Cherry's Jubilee in the parking lot. And with authentic brandy that Paul Giamatti had on hand.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a really sweet... I like it because, number one, it's filmed like it was in the 1970s.
Nice.
So it really feels like it's from that era. And number 2, Paul Giamatti gives a wonderful performance, but a very believable performance as somebody who's a functioning alcoholic, but yet still holds down a job, still has responsibilities, but is very much an alcoholic. And there are people that walk among us like that. We know people like that.
Yes.
That can function, but at the very root of it, once that door closes, I will be drinking this beer, or I will be breaking open this bottle. So it's kind of a good window into that type of behavior, and also how relationships through people can kind of start the road to healing that type of behavior. And grief, being around people. She doesn't want to be around anybody because her son's dead, and she doesn't want to celebrate Christmas or anything. But she has to be around these people out of necessity because they got to eat. Mm-hmm. They got to eat, and she's the one cooking their food. So it's a very interesting dynamic, and I really like The Holdovers a lot. And I also have the holiday classic, Bad Santa.
Oh.
Released in 2002,
Yes.
starring Billy Bob Thornton.
Yes.
It's a classic. Don't even talk to me about the sequel.
I don't even think I watched it. Actually.
Kathy Bates played his mom. And she's like 8 years older than him.
Oh my goodness.
But I love Billy Bob Thornton. Even if
Yes.
it's crap, I'll watch Billy Bob Thornton because I love watching him as an actor. And I'll watch Bad Santa every year because it's raunchy. It's
Yes.
raunchy good fun that I haven't quite outgrown yet.
Mm-hmm.
And
My
then
husband loves it too.
and then if I can make it to it, I watch Black Christmas, which I just saw last year, and I want to watch it again. It's a creepy kind of guy who escaped from a mental ward is stalking these sorority sisters who are staying over for Christmas. But what makes it interesting, it predates Halloween
Oh.
as a slasher film.
Oh.
Yes. And it's also very...
That I have to check out.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, there is a terrible remake. There's like 2 terrible remakes. Don't watch the remakes. Watch the original one from the 70s.
Okay.
Yes, it has the lady, what's her name? Margot Kidder, who played Lois Lane in the Christopher Reeve. Yeah, it has her. Pardon me. And the girl who played Juliet in the 70s version of Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
And
good
then
stuff.
then the classic Die Hard always has to be watched in my house at some
Yes,
point.
yes.
Yes, you gotta watch that.
I was talking about this at work the other day. Okay, watch Die Hard. I don't care, but I am so tired of the discourse around it. Move on with something else.
Right.
Okay, yes. Every other movie article around is like, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? I was like,
Oh, I know.
it is what you want it to be.
Right. I was going to say, I say it's a Christmas movie because it takes place at Christmas. It's a Christmas party. The whole thing is sort of specifically, it wouldn't happen if it wasn't Christmas. However, I know everybody's like, well, Bruce Willis says it wasn't a Christmas movie. I was like, my understanding is the full quote is it's a Bruce Willis movie, not a Christmas movie. But the person who wrote it says it's a Christmas movie. So I'm like, you know what? If you think it's a Christmas movie, it's a Christmas movie. If it's not, I mean, you could sit there and watch freaking, a summer hit at Christmas, and that be your Christmas
Lethal
movie
Weapon takes place, the first Lethal Weapon with Mel Gibson takes place at Christmas, but was released in July.
Right.
Yep.
Well, I mean, It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Was a summer release. But, and nobody would say that's not a Christmas movie nowadays. But
No. It's a Christmas movie.
All right. I could talk to these ladies about Christmas movie all night, but if we don't get off the airwaves soon, these non-existent internet airwaves, we won't be able to make it to our board meeting where we have to decide what we're going to do next year. We'll see what happens. And we're also going to eat some finger food. And
Whoop, whoop. Love food.
I've never been to Darius and Teresa's house, so this is a new experience for me.
It's a cute little place. It's much smaller than his old place. That was over on Fifth Street.
I was talking to Tamara about Darius's old house. Did he like buy the house next door and like connect it or something? Because his house is like cavernous, or he sold it now, but it was cavernous.
It had what they traditionally call a mother-in-law suite. So it's a full secondary little apartment off to the side. So, and that's where his mother lived for a long time. And then when his mother passed away, Teresa and he moved into that side because it's just smaller. They didn't need all of that big. I mean, because the main part of the house is huge. I think the people who bought it from me were planning on doing a bed and breakfast type thing. But
you could do that.
I'm not sure if they did or not.
I was walking around like, this is like the Red Keep in here. This thing just keeps going.
It is. It was like, and it's funny because it's almost like when you go from one side to the other, you have to do a maze to get through there. There's no real. It's definitely made to keep your mother-in-law away from you because you have to go zigzag through the rooms to sort of find.
You have to leave like markers on the wall to see if you've been there.
Yeah.
It's full on labyrinth.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we hope you all have a Merry Christmas out there. To our audiences, to our patrons, to everybody, have a Merry Christmas. Enjoy your loved ones. And we will see you in the new year with new content ready to go. Special shout out to whoever's listening to us in Germany. Thank you.
What?
Yeah, I don't know why, but we do have listeners what few listeners we have, there are some located in Germany. I don't know why. I would love to know
And there
why.
was a Christmas truce in 1914 with the World War I.
Yes, there was.
Oh, well, they played soccer. Oh, we played soccer together. No, actually.
No. They ceasefire from Christmas Eve all the way through Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Day.
But I think they shared meals, and I think they played football with each other. Actually, Germany. If you have a real estate agent over there, just give me a call.
It's really beautiful.
I want to go.
I wonder if it's my friend Michael, who I was in a play with down at Gilbert, and he moved to Germany. And I'm wondering if it's just him. Michael, if that's you, let me know. Because I am curious. If you are German and listening to this, reach out and tell us why. I love that you're listening. Please continue to do so. But
yes.
Why?
We have some really random ones. Like the Germany's
because
actually
we're Joko.
Right.
Yes, world famous.
There's like we get a year roundup, wrap up or whatever that tells us sort of.
Yeah, Spotify wrap up. Like at the end of the year, get you all your Spotify stats.
Yes.
Well, we get little stats about our podcast.
And Germany's like it's like U.S. then Germany. And then, like, everybody else is, like, one or two. But so, like, there's some people in, like, Indonesia. And I'm like...
Someone accidentally clicked on our podcast in
yes.
Indonesia.
Yes.
That's cool.
It's like one of those things you just can't stop. It's like a train wreck. You got to look at it. So now you got to keep listening.
Right. But I would think it's more like maybe it's a VPN. It's like somebody's, like, routing it through their computer. And it's the VPN. It's giving us a wrong ding.
Maybe. Yeah.
But I don't know.
But one can hope.
The Germany one is enough that it seems like they actually are listening. But like some of the little ones and twos, you're like, I'm not sure that's real, or why they're listening to us.
Tell us why. Write a review. Anything. Tell us what's going on in the Eastern Hemisphere.
Right.
All right. We're gonna sign off here, folks. Thank you, Brenda, for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Meter, for setting up the stuff. I'm sorry. I thought it was already set up.
No, it's fine. I mean, it was only 3 microphones. It's not that big a deal. It wasn't like some of our casts where we have 17 people trying to cram
Right.
around the table.
Speaking of which, we will have our next episode probably late January, early February, featuring some of the cast of The Foreigner, which I am looking at and has familiar faces. And some brand new people too.
Yeah.
Yes, there are a couple in there where I'm just like, who's this? Oh, okay. Maddie Lee is in it. She's from Benson, and I think she was stage manager on because they did it not too long ago.
No, she's the same character she was.
Oh, for real? Mm-hmm. And I think David is too. David Holt played Charlie in another production.
Oh, Foxfire. Oh, not Foxfire. Firebox.
Firebox, yes.
Yeah.
Firebox Theater, yes.
They just did it not too long ago, yeah. And I think he played something. I don't know if it's the same part, but he was in that one.
I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll confirm that. Okay, we'll confirm that in February with our new episode. For now, this is Neuse Little Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Gore. That's my producer, Mita.
So,
Merry Christmas, and have a Happy New Year.
later.
Bye.